Come on, you guys are always like,
We'll get in trouble.
You'll get fired and I will get shipped back to Canada. Probably.
So what can you tell us about your characters, like personality-wise, or talk about your like career and what you've done, how your personality's changed at all?
I don't think so. I think just gotten older, but our personalities are pretty much the same.
I think we're just a lot more confident in how we handle different situations. And I think for Emily's character, she's been through the most of all the girls during that 5 years. So she's grown up way ahead of us.
Sorry, I thought I was picking you.
Did she stay in college? I'm very curious because it seems like she's not out in the professional world the same way that the other girls are.
Right. That is what we're going to be finding out in November for our special. She does go to school, yes. Yeah. It's just finding out what exactly she ends up doing in the story.
Ashley, it sounded like you weren't happy with some of the stuff that happens to Hannah in the time jump. So can you say kind of, does she change it all over 6B and D to kind of, does she kind of line up with what you were hoping for, or still kind of?
She definitely went into a direction I wanted to go with Hannah, but personal stuff I didn't like. But you'll find out why.
I know, it's really like, we can't really tell you anything.
How many different ways can you speak vaguely about,
Well, when you guys heard that the time jump was happening, were you guys really excited that you were finally going to be playing characters that you could kind of relate to a little bit better than the ones running around high school?
Yeah, I was so sick of being in a classroom. I didn't even go to high school, so I was like, ugh, die.
Good idea.
And I think our fans are also growing up too, so it's nice to be able to catch up to the level that they're at. In TV world, everything is condensed. Like those 6 years were condensed into like a year and a half. So it's kind of nice to be able to catch up now.
Okay. What do you guys hope your characters learned in those 5 years, even before, they can now use as adults?
I feel like they've dealt with so much even before the 5-year jump, and like they've gone through quite a few experiences. But I think with that, just 5 years more confidence.
More wisdom, confidence.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to tease about the state of Hannah and Caleb at all after the time? Or is that a no-no?
I mean, yeah, go Caleb.
Go Caleb.
Would it be fair to say that they've been each other's rock?
But yeah.
Is that going to continue?
I mean, they'll always have that bond, and in the jump, like the things that you don't see, she moved to New York with Caleb, and they got an apartment, and they kind of like did their thing up there, which you won't see on the show, but you'll see it in the special episode that airs in November.
Were there any items from your high school wardrobe you were happy to see go, and anything you wanted to add in?
Everything out.
You wanted everything out. I think I tried to get my Converse sneakers out, but they still managed to come back in.
Are the girls going to be really hesitant about going back to Rosewood now that they've received the letter from Allie and all that? What are their states when they get back there? Are they wanting to testify, or are they kind of...
I think the girls wanted to get as far away from Rosewood as possible when we last saw them. And I think even when they get back there, it's still that sort of like, it's our home, but we still want to leave and go back,
They've grown so much, in the last 5 years, they were so done with everything, that chapter of their lives closed, and when they get this letter, they're they don't want to do it, but they want to be there for Allie, but every time that they go do something for Allie, something else happens. So I think that they are hesitant to go back, but they really have no choice.
Are they different in how they feel about whether they want to try to help Charlotte or not help Charlotte?
I don't think so. I think they did it out of favor of Allison more than
I've talked very slowly about every answer. I've been what are we allowed to say? What she said.
It kind of seems like they're not as close as they were before the time jump now. Can you talk about maybe what could have caused that kind of separation, or what it's going to be like when they all have to come back together?
I think it's just being away from each other. I think it was almost similar to the pilot episode when we first saw them. They'd been close friends, but then something made them drift apart. So they were very comfortable with one another, but they weren't as close. And I think that after 5 years, maybe they've stayed in touch over FaceTime and that sort of thing. But as far as getting together as often as they would have liked, I don't think that happened.
Okay, yeah.
Now that they're older, is there going to be a lot more tension between all of them because they've been through so much individually and together? That now that they're all coming back together and they're dealing with the obviously testifying and all that, and wanting to help Allie and not wanting to help, is it going to like clashing of heads happening?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's always going to be tensions in like weird situations, but they've already been through this, so the more that they can like stick together and talk things out is really how everything's going to be handled. But I would say that there's tension.
Yeah.